Yo guys, what's going on, and welcome out to another video. Today I'm back with another Psgl League race. Today is the pre-season race for the Psgl F3 Championship. After winning the F6 Championship last season, we get promoted to F3, so it's going to be a lot more difficult. But this is the pre-season race around Italy, and my phone's going off. Are you fucking serious? But as you can see, I'm in the Renault once again, which I was actually happy with. I mean, I didn't have to get used to the car. There's only a few cars I wouldn't want to drive in an online session, and yeah, this was my fastest lap in qualifying, starting on a soft tyre, just because it was the better strategy. I mean, I tried to copy what I did in F6 just because it worked so well, and despite the fact I may have to race people throughout the race, it was just a better strategy in general. So yeah, we're going to start on a soft tyre, coming out of the final corner, running up to the line, and we go provisional P1. However, there's a lot of fast people in this league, so it's going to be a difficult season. And as we go to the results, you can see we go all the way down to 9th position, second fastest on the soft tyre. But a lot of people ahead of me starting on the super soft tyre, so that was a bit encouraging. And despite starting in the mid pack, if I could just get through lap 1, I feel like I could get something good out of this race. So if we set off for the formation lap, as I said, I'm hoping to go soft, medium soft, or maybe even super soft, depending on how far I can take those tyres. This is obviously my strongest track, one of my favourites in the game. So if there's any track I was going to do well and get a good debut in F3, this was it. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I don't like the calendar for next season. So I was just hoping to show some pace and show what I can do around this track. Obviously, there are a lot of quick people in this league, so I'm not expecting to win the championship. I'd say my goal for this season is top 8 in the drivers and to beat Mr. Stim. I'd say that's my goal throughout the season. I think that's reasonable. But as the formation lap comes to an end, it's time for the lights in Italy for the pre-season race in F3. So here we go. We have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's the lights out and away we go. In the initial getaway, it was looking good. We have the outside line for turn 1. So I was actually quite happy with that. Hopefully I can just, hopefully just make it through turn 1. Heading down towards turn 1, and it looks pretty clean actually. It could have been a lot worse. We lose a little bit of momentum on turn 2. Get hit by the Toro Rosso and lose a little bit of momentum. Now we've got a second Toro Rosso on our inside. And we're down to 9th place. We've got the Red Bull of Lars Gaming, I think, on our inside as well. Now the outsides, we head down to second chicane. Can we get the Red Bull under braking? No, we can. Toro Rosso really parks on the apex, and we lose the position to the Ferrari. And we're down to 12th place at the end of sector 1. So that is not how I wanted to start this race. I just got caught up in it. I got held up by a Toro Rosso twice in both corners there. So a little bit unfortunate, but we don't have any damage, and I feel like we can still get back in this race. It's very easy to rotate on this track, so hopefully you can just get a bit of momentum and tear through this field as we head down to Ascari. We've got AMS just behind us, who is a very quick driver. I feel like he's going to be a definite contender for the championship this season. He gets a fantastic run out of Ascari, and it looks like he's going to look up the inside into Parabolica. As we head down to Parabolica, he's looking up the inside and doesn't actually go too aggressive, luckily. We've got 2 cars at the edge of Parabolica. I think that was Courtois and somebody else, I'm not too sure, but that promotes us to P10. Now we're still under pressure from AMS as we head down to turn 1. It looks like he's going to look around the outside. Is he going to get me under braking? I think he is. He is a lot quicker than me. We hug the inside, and I think we just leave him plenty of room on the exit. I don't really want to fight him, but I'm getting boxed in by Lars Gaming and AMS here, so once again, Lars Gaming causing problems for me in another race. He caused me problems in F6. But you can see he's just really getting in my way. I want to stay side by side of AMS, but he just was not going quick enough and really boxing me in. We get a poor exit out of the second chicane. And now I think that's Rossi on our outside as we head round Lesmo 1. We're trying to get past Lars Gaming. We got the inside through Lesmo 1 and side by side through Lesmo 2. We actually forced him a little bit wide into the gravel, but I feel like I had right to the corner, and that promotes us to P10. Coming out of Ascari on lap number 2, we are right behind AMS. We've got the slipstream, and we've got the straight line speed. We're going to look around the outside at Parabolica. Can we hold it around the outside of the McLaren? It's going to be very tricky, but we have the line We run a little bit wide onto the white line and we lose the back end. And unfortunately, just collect AMS and he goes into the barrier. And yeah, I would say that's my fault, but I lost the back end and there's just nothing I could have done. But there are 3 cars, 2 Toro Rossos and I think a Ferrari, all coming together at turn 1 now. That promotes us to P6. So despite taking out AMS, there's still carnage at turn 1. On to lap number 4, and you can see this is the stage where all the super soft people are pitting. That promotes us to P number 1 at the end of lap 5. But then not a lot really happened. I mean, we led the race and we're just trying to open the gap to Rossi. He's on the medium tyre. But at the end of lap 8, we come into the pit to fit the medium tyre. At this stage, I was actually feeling pretty confident. A lot of the quick people had been taken out. So I feel like I was in a good run to at least get a podium position. Obviously, I wasn't expecting to win this race. I knew a lot of quick people were in this lobby. We fit the medium tyre as we come on to lap number 9. We come out in P7 behind Fragglepool, but ahead of Zalan, who was very quick in F6. But on to lap 10, we are really pushing on the medium tyre, trying to minimise the gap to Rossi. Hopefully he won't jump us in the pit. However, as we come to Ascari, we've got WWFC, I think his name is. I don't even know what happened to him at Ascari. He just, I don't know, but he narrowly misses us. Coming on to lap 11, we've got quite a few cars in the pit and that promotes us to P4. And I think we are ahead of Rossi at this stage. I'm not actually too sure. We've got Fragglepool just ahead of us. But nevertheless, we are still pushing, trying to get onto the back of Fragglepool. I feel like he has pit, but I'm not actually too sure. I feel like throughout this race, I was genuinely quicker than him. Obviously, it's a very strong track for me. But as we come through the second chicane, the virtual safety car is deployed. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea why it was deployed, but I realised I don't actually have my Delta on, so I quickly paused the game and put my Delta on so I don't get a penalty. But this virtual safety car really annoyed me because I think I actually got it wrong earlier. I think Rossi hasn't pit yet, and I knew that Rossi would actually get in front of me. So coming down the main straight, I was just keeping an eye out on the right for Rossi. You can see just ahead, he comes out on the soft tyre, and that really annoyed me. The virtual safety car helped him out massively then. He's ahead of me on the faster tyre between myself and Fragglepool. So I was just hoping that he would catch on to back of Fragglepool as he's doing right now and battle and just allow me to get in the slipstream, because once these two were in the slipstream and DRS to each other, it's very difficult to get onto the back of them. Luckily, Rossi and Fraggle were battling just enough for me to actually catch. You can see I've got DRS now as we head down to Ascari, and you can just see how eager Rossi is to get past Fraggle. And this was costing them so much time. You can see I'm staying with them. I've got the slipstream and the DRS. Not enough to actually challenge a move. But coming out of Ascari, Rossi completely loses it. I have no idea what happened to him. But he has lost second place. And I think that is a race win gone for him. He narrowly misses my car when he rejoins onto the track. But now it is a straight fight between myself and Fragglepool. He does have another pit stop to make, as do I. So it's going to be a straight fight to the end. On to the next lap, however, he does come into the pit, and I feel like just because of the lap he's come in, he's going to fit the soft tyre, possibly. I'm not actually too sure how good his tyre wear is, but that promotes us to P number 1. Now coming on to lap 21. I was considering trying to go to the end, but Rossi was catching me on the soft tyre, and honestly, it would have just been too risky if I tried to go to the end, so I decided to come in. I was going to fit the soft tyre just so I could push to the end like I did in F6. Just put on the softer tyre just so I know I can make it to the end while I'm pushing. And when I made this pit stop, I knew Rossi was going to pit with me. I didn't know what tyres he was going to go on to, however. I feel like he was going to go on to the super soft because looking back on it, I'm pretty sure I could have made the super soft stick to the end, but I didn't want to risk it. As we rejoin the track, Mr. Stimp takes lead of the race. RDO is in second on the soft tyre. Fragglepool gets out in front of us in third, and we come out in fourth on the soft tyre. And now it is time to push like crazy to the end. A podium was still within reach. I didn't know what strategy Mr. Stim was on until the next lap when he comes into the pit from the lead of the race. That promotes us to third position. And Fragglepool was on the medium tyre, so I was hoping that I could catch him to the end. I didn't know if he had any penalties or not. We've got RDO in first, Fragglepool in second, and myself in third. So I was on the fresher, fastest tyre. RDO was on very worn tyres and Fraggle on fresh mediums. Now as we come on to the penultimate lap of the race, you can see we're still within sight of RDO and Fragglepool, but Fragglepool makes a move up the inside through the second chicane and he is now in the lead of the race. At this stage I really need to get past RDO if I wanted to win this race. I was on the fastest tyre and I had been catching these guys because they've been battling, but if I stay behind RDO for, well, there wasn't many laps left, but I needed to get past RDO if I had any chance of beating Fraggle. In the DRS down to Scary, and you can see just how much I don't know, throughout this race I was really quick through the two Lesmos. But coming through Scary, you can see the time we've gained on RDO already. Fraggle is out in front and increasing the gap, so I really need to get past RDO quickly in order to, well, at this stage I was hoping Fraggle had a penalty, because in one lap I wasn't going to get past two cars, especially with that gap. And at this track, it's not really a track that you make too many mistakes. We get a fantastic exit out of Parabolica. As we start the final lap of the race, we're going to be side by side with RDO. We're going to have to look around the outside at turn 1. It's going to be difficult. We just don't have the straight line speed. Trying it under braking round the outside at turn 1. And I just went in a little bit deep. I'm sure I could have made the move stick if I'd just broken a little bit earlier. But we've lost a lot of momentum to RDO as we come on to the final lap. But as we're going around turn 3, you can see RDO is really struggling. I'm pretty sure his tyres were really worn at this stage as you come through the second chicane for the final time. We need to get past RDO down DRS straight if we have any chance of being within 3 seconds of Fragglepool. I didn't know if he had a penalty at this stage. You can see through the second Lesmo, we're right onto the back of him. Can we get past the McLaren? Our final attempt to get past him. We have DRS, we have the slipstream round the outside at Ascari. I was praying that he was going to pull out of it, and it looks like we've made the move stick. Before we made it to Ascari, now we're just trying to get his best run through the third sector as we possibly could. We're within 3 seconds of Fraggle, so all I was hoping is if he had a penalty or not. You can see in the bottom right, using all the rich mix I have left for the final corner we head down to Parabolica for the final time. We're within 3 seconds of him, so I just needed him to have a penalty. Trying to get the best run out to Parabolica as possible, taking the shortest line to the line. We come across the line, as you can see in the top left. We win the race thanks to penalties. And we win the pre-season race for F3. That was one of the most tense league races I've ever done. Obviously, everyone is a lot quicker than in F6, but it was a fantastic race nonetheless. The top 3 separated. Well, the race being decided on the final lap. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new here. The first race of the actual season is Australia, I think. So I will see you guys then. But thank you guys for watching, and see ya!